My name is Muhammad Mahmoud Omar and I'm a student in the Management Information System Department. My student number is 210, 410, 13, and my topic for today is the 9 types of intelligence. This theory was first introduced in 1983 by Harvard University professor named Howard Gardner. He argued that the traditional methods of measuring intelligences are ineffective, in the sense that they cannot capture all the abilities people possess. He also believed that each type of intelligence differently affects the way people learn. His theory has come under criticism in the past, with some arguing that his definition of intelligence is too broad, and that most of the intelligences he listed are basically skills and talents rather than intelligences. The first type he listed in his theory was the mathematical logical intelligence. This is what usually comes to mind when we think of intelligences, and people with this type of intelligence are good at solving mathematical equations and recognizing complicated patterns. It's mostly associated with geniuses like Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, and Tesla. Second, the linguistic intelligence is basically the use of words to better express oneself and better communicate with others. It is the most commonly shared type of intelligence, and it is found in poets and public speakers. People with this type of intelligence find learning other languages easier than ordinary people. The third type of intelligence, the bodily kinesthetic intelligence, is basically the ability to coordinate between the mind and body and to use objects in a more skilled manner with excellent timing. Dancers and athletes have this type of intelligence. The two types of intelligence I personally find to be the most interesting are the musical and spatial intelligence. People with the musical intelligence are more sensitive to sounds and can sometimes hear noises other people can't. They can also recognize and recreate different rhythms, tones and the notes. People with the spatial intelligence are capable of thinking in pictures and accurately visualizing in 3D images in their minds. They are generally very creative and have a wide imagination. They usually pursue careers in the forms of art, like basically artists and painters, architects, and alike. Howard goes on to list 4 other types of intelligence, which are the interpersonal intelligence, which is basically the ability to understand other people's feelings, motives, and its opposite, the intrapersonal intelligence, which is basically the ability to understand oneself, his thinking process, his beliefs, and his inner thoughts. He then goes on to list the naturalist intelligence, which is basically simply the ability to be one with nature and to be able to differentiate between different plants, trees, and animals. And then he lists the existential intelligence, which is basically describes people who ask deep questions, basically like what is the purpose of life and what happens after death. Basically, after studying this theory, I found myself to agree with the criticism this theory gets. I find some of the intelligences, like the last two I mentioned, the naturalist and existential, to barely qualify as a type of intelligence. Like, for example, the naturalist intelligence, it is easy for somebody to train himself to be able to differentiate between different plants and animals. This information is available to everybody now. And for the existential intelligence, most of the questions asked, the answers for most of the questions asked are kind of subjective. Like different people believe different stuff happen after death, for example. But if I had to choose which type of intelligence I am, I would say I am the mathematical logical intelligence and the spatial intelligence to a lesser degree.